Chapter 4, Section 2, builds upon what we learned in Section 1, what is demand. We start out with a new law, the law of diminishing marginal utility. It's a long term, but it can be broken down, rather simple. All right, the law states that for each additional glass or a glass of lemonade, bag of chips that we purchase and consume, that each additional bag or glass brings us less and less satisfaction. Remember from chapter 1 that utility, it means satisfaction in economics. All right. There's two patterns that economists have discovered or have identified in the economy. We have the income effect. We have noticed that there is a change in the amount of products or services that a consumer will buy if their income, their wages, or their salary goes up. For instance, yesterday on Halloween, October 31st, I received a step raise, which means that the Weaver household, okay, can buy more products that we enjoy. Products that bring us utility, satisfaction, or products that we just simply need to survive. Yeah. The substitute effect or substitution effect. This is a change in demand that can be attributed to the availability of a substitute good. A substitute just means an alternative to what you normally would buy. For instance, if cow's milk goes sky high, goes to $5 a gallon, people who drink milk with their cereal will turn to an alternative, a substitute good. Almond milk, soy milk, maybe just water to liquefy their cereal. A change in quantity demanded. All right, I've said before that in supply and demand, economics gets confusing, it gets difficult. It starts right here with this slide. A change in quantity demanded is basically what we learned in section 1, that following the law of demand. As prices go down, okay, the cost of fuel goes from $100 a barrel for a 40 to 50 gallon drum of crude oil to $80. Producers of oil will buy more. All right, the units will go from 10 units to 11, going from point A to point B. The only factor that's impacting demand and a change in quantity demand is price. All right? So right here, factor of price sells cars and trucks. All right? When I was your age, there was a radio commercial that said, price sells cars and trucks at Winter Haven Ford. All right? That was the slogan. It illustrates a change in quantity demand. Price goes down, more cars will be bought, will roll off the lot. Picture a skateboarder, all right, descending a vert ramp. All right, so for a change in quantity demanded, all right, price is the only factor that's changing. All right, I look at this graph and I say, that's a skateboard ramp, okay? So for a change in quantity demanded, the skateboarder, representing price, goes down the ramp or comes back up the ramp if price goes up. But price is the only factor that's at work in a change in quantity demanded. Here's a skateboard half pipe. All right, change in quantity demanded. All right, this green line represents the demand curve that's showing changes in different price points. Okay? Doesn't matter what product it is. Products start out at a high price, at least according to this theory, economic model, and it's going to fall down. And as that price falls, more and more people purchase the products or demand the products. All right, here's the next term. This is the one that gets confusing. It's a change in demand. If you see the term change in demand, you've got to remember that this is dealing with the other factors, these 6 other factors that impact demand. Okay? They're oftentimes referred to as shifters because they literally shift the curve either outward if you have an increase in demand. Right? If more people get in the market to purchase a skateboard, okay, then we would say that's the market size shifting demand for skateboards. If fewer people are in the market for skateboards, that's going to shift the whole curve to the left. All right? There are 5 other shifters that we'll learn about in the next slides. All right? Think about this picture. On the left-hand side is a demand curve. All right? On the right side is our supply curves. All right? Eventually, we're going to explore and learn about the interrelationships between demand and supply. But for right now, we're just going to focus on demand curves moving with a change in demand. All right. First factor that we encounter is the income factor. We've already talked about it with the income effect. That if Mr. Weaver's income rises on Halloween 2017, then he's going to be able to purchase more goods. He and his family can demand more goods and services. There are 2 types of goods economists have observed and know. There is the normal goods. These are goods that people will purchase more of when their incomes rise. Okay? Or they'll purchase less of them if their income falls. Shoes. Think about sneakers. Think about the new Jordans. All right? The latest Jordans. If you've got more money to spend, you can demand more shoes. All right? Shoes are a normal good. Another normal good is coffee. All right? In particular, specialty coffee. All right? With Mr. Weaver's increase in pay, monthly pay, we can assume that he'll buy more mocha lattes. There also are inferior goods. Inferior goods are products that people will leave behind when their income rises. Let's think about 4 years from now. You finish college, you got your degree, and you get your first real job. Okay? You're going to get, maybe you get a starting bonus, or you get money right out the door once you sign that contract to work for some company. You've likely lived on, in college, food like ramen noodles, low cost, high carb, high sodium products like ramen noodles. When you get your first job, you can get rid of buying ramen noodles. You can move on to Saigon Noodle House, or you can buy the really good noodles. You now can afford them. So economists say that ramen noodles and other products are inferior goods. These are goods that people demand less of when their income rises. For me, black coffee, just plain coffee, might be an example of an inferior good. Specialty coffee, that's a normal good. I'm going to buy more. but black coffee I'll buy less of when I make more money. Next, factor number 2. This is market size. We've already mentioned it earlier. Think about each fall. Many towns in the Northeast, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, are going to see increases of tourists who flock there to see the fall leaves or the fall foliage. Products that are sold like maple syrup. There's going to be an increase in demand for maple syrup in Vermont, in New Hampshire, in Maine during the fall when there's more people in the market to purchase those products. You might think about Ben & Jerry's ice cream. That's another Vermont product. All right? We can expect that there will be an increase in demand for Ben & Jerry's ice cream when the market size increases each fall. Factor number 3, consumer taste. When a good or service enjoys popularity, consumers demand more of it at every price. Think about the Vera Wang example from section 1. Vera Wang's wedding gowns are so popular and multiple celebrities wear them in award shows and wear those gowns for their own weddings, that they create a fad, they create a trend that people flock after. That's known as, in economics, as consumer taste. All right? Trends and fads, they come and go. So depending on what's new and what's trending, that will determine whether demand is increased, whether it's shifted to the right, or it's shifted to the left. Factor number 4. Typically, all right, new automobiles come out, the new year's model comes out in August of each year, maybe September. So consumers who know this pattern, they're going to watch out for the 2017 models to go on sale in September to make room for these new 2018 models coming on to Edward Chevrolet or whatever car lots that are around. All right? Consumers, based on reports, consumer reports, it might just be word of mouth. People are going to begin to expect, hey, if I buy in a month from now, I'm going to get a lower price than I will right now. So that will influence consumer behavior. Let's go to factor 5, substitute goods and services. We've already talked about this with the substitute effect or substitution effect, but there's alternatives to high-priced goods. All right, if the price for cow's milk goes up, rises to $5, we can expect that the average consumer will find an alternative source of dairy. They'll go to almond or soy milk. Let's go to factor 6. All right, complementary goods or complements. All right, this is a scenario in economics when the use of a purchase of one product increases the usefulness or the purchasing of another product. Okay, let's go back to Vera Wang. Vera Wang's gowns, all right, they drive demand for her accessories, shoes by other designers. Okay, this doesn't just happen with women's fashion. It also happens with men's fashion. Okay, think about it. You go buy a new pair of sneakers. What else do you buy when you go buy shoes? What other foot accessory do you need to go with shoes? How about socks? We'll buy more socks when we buy new shoes. So socks are a complement to new shoes. All right. So to summarize the 4.2 notes, all right, a change in quantity demand is caused by what? What causes a change in quantity demanded? Right? Think back to section 1. All right? A change in quantity demanded can be pictured this way. The whole demand curve is going to shift. All right? If more people are in the market to buy Ben & Jerry's ice cream, then the demand curve for Ben & Jerry's ice cream is going to shift to the right with a change in demand. If there's less people in the marketplace for Ben & Jerry's ice cream, then the demand curve for ice cream is going to move inward to the left. Right? Thus, the moving right for an increase, or outward with an increase, and inward to the left with a decrease in demand. Change in quantity demand has everything to do with the skateboarder, and the skateboard represents prices falling or prices rising. A change in quantity demand is the whole graph, the whole demand curve moving right for an increase and to the left for a decrease.